Welcome back, everybody, to the podcast. This is Brian. Like a journalist I know would say, things are effed up. And I say that because I am from Indiana, and I just found out. I've been in the workforce all my life. I've always gotten a break, basically after 2 hours. And I've always gotten a lunch after 4 hours. Somehow, the law's been changed since then, and that doesn't seem the case anymore. So we're not robots, we're human beings, but we're not being treated like human beings much anymore, are we? So I went to the labor internet, and I asked the labor laws of Indiana, and of course I've gotten an AI lawyer. I wonder how many years he went to school. Yeah, right. And they're asking me, welcome, how can I help you with your employment law question? I asked them, do employers by law have to give breaks and lunches to workers? And if so, how long and how many? Let's see what they say. Oh yeah, let me show you. Okay. There it is. Can you see that? There it is. That's the question. Okay? Yeah, and so the answer is, was this discussed with a manager or HR or with a lawyer? What? So I typed in, just wanting to know what the law states. AI. This is an AI lawyer. Knows a lot. Is the workplace at will or a union? Is it an hourly or salary? What? Why should it matter? Don't everybody deserve a break? What happens if you gotta go to the bathroom? Just wear a diaper? I don't know. But this is a reason why when you work with humans that we need breaks. Because we get tired and our work production goes down if we get too tired and we don't get a break. And if we can't go to the bathroom, you're going to be hiding somewhere just like a little kid in the corner fixing that problem, right? So this is really stupid. I would like to talk to somebody person to person, but it seems like nowadays everything's got to go through AI. AI knows everything. They try to take all your information. So I wrote down, shouldn't everybody get a break regardless? Because they're trying to stipulate, at will or union or salary or hourly. I don't give a crap. We're all tired after a couple hours, and especially, there's high impact work. Roofers, try that one and not take a break. Anyway, her answer is there anything else the lawyer should know before I connect you? Why don't they just let me call the lawyer and ask these questions? So here we are wasting my time, which is meaningless to them, right? And then it says, rest assured that they'll be able to help you. You think? I don't know. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I was talking to Pearl Chatbox. Pearl Chatbot. Robot. And this robot is talking for the employment lawyer. which is Alan M. ESQ, which I don't think that's his real name. That's kind of stupid, but whatever. But I'm going to kind of give up on this one because, employment lawyer, it doesn't really sound good. I'd rather just research what the laws are, right? This is kind of funny. When I roam through here, I see questions like about drug-free workplaces, policies. I don't know, the last place I worked at, they just went to the bathroom and did all their damn drugs because they were hiring felons. And I'm not against felons working, believe me. But when they come to your work and they put you in jeopardy by they're all messed up, that's when people get hurt or fights start happening. You just can't do it. But that's where it is. I mean, drug-free? I don't know. Does anybody out there know that their place is totally drug-free? I don't think so, because actually I'm looking here and it's talking about drug-free stuff in Ohio, workplace programs. So they all know they're doing drugs like crazy at work, and they're putting you in a program. I mean, I know there's this program where you can take where if you get caught doing drugs, you can say, "Oh, I'm addicted," and they put you in a program and you get your job back. I would rather see him just get off of drugs the right way. I mean, if you can go to prison for drugs or selling drugs or doing drugs or whatever, and you can get your GED, yay, and you can get some education, but they don't get you off of drugs, what's the point? Taxpayers' money down the drain. So-called rehabilitation, what the hell is that? What does that really mean? Rehabilitation. So you go to jail for drugs, you get your GED, maybe you get a college education, maybe become a lawyer in prison. Then you come out and you're still drugged up on the sidewalk selling drugs, but you're a lawyer. Now you can defend yourself. Really? So then I typed in, what are the laws about breaks in Indiana? And it doesn't want to tell me nothing. It's almost like it's embarrassed. I see where it says, how much does it cost? I didn't ask any of that. When will I get my answer? All right. Anyway, this is a lost cause. I've heard that Indiana, well, let's just say federal. Let's start with the federal. Federal law. There is no law that requires any business to make you give your employees any breaks, which I think is probably one of the stupidest things you ever saw. I mean, these people that making laws, they get breaks. Your Senate, your House, your whole damn government, they get breaks. But for some reason, they're not requiring the companies to allow you to have any breaks. So if they're giving you breaks, it's because of their kindness. Maybe family owned. Probably not, because a lot of these businesses like to slave drive you. But what I've come to find out, I've worked in Illinois, lived there 20 years. They have a very strong labor laws. I don't know what it is now. I've never been there since 2005, and this is 25. So it's 20 years later. Might not be good for them. But anyway, they got really strong labor laws. Here in Indiana, they can fire you for any reason. It's basically bullshit. Why do we have a labor laws or labor? Why do we have a labor? What do you call them? Labor board. Why are we paying to have a labor board when they're doing absolutely shit for the people? I mean, you could sit there and say you work a business and you're earning your vacations as you go. And all of a sudden, they tell you to do this or do that, and you really don't, you're putting in your notice, and you've earned vacation. Well, the labor laws allow them to take your vacations away from you if you don't give them a 2-week notice. Bullshit, I say. That's wrong. You earned that. That is your vacation money. But the labor laws do not stand up for that. And in Indiana, they don't give a shit if you ever get a break. Does the labor board get breaks? Of course they do. You know they do. So my big question is, what's up the labor board's ass that thinks they're entitled, but everybody else, who cares, right? So why are we paying a labor board? They should have just eliminated the labor board, because what would it hurt? What really would it hurt? Tell me. I worked in Illinois for 20 years. I worked for a union, a Teamsters union. I don't believe it's in business anymore, but it was a very good job. It was a grocery warehouse, and it supplied food. It was one of them that supplied food throughout the whole Chicagoland. And I actually worked in the warehouse, which I really enjoyed. It kept you in shape. The union was very strong. The company tried to make it a revolving door, and there's reasons why they do that. There's times where if they don't like somebody for a reason, and they'll sit there and lay off 40 people just to get to that one, and then they just won't call that one back. It's really ridiculous what they try to do. But the thing of it is, when you got a labor board, when you got labor board, we'll throw that out the window. When you got a strong union, they can't do that. They have to abide by the contract that they agreed to. And there was many times, probably 3 times, they tried to can my ass just because I wouldn't do certain things that endangered my life, and so they tried setting me up. Well, the labor board was there, very strong, and I was kind of scared. I was like, damn, they're gonna fire my ass just because I didn't want to die, because they wanted me to do dumb things, like work on. They have high lifts and jack pallets and tuggers and everything, and they wanted me to operate this high lift when it was broke, and I knew better, because I'm like, this thing could, the hydraulics, because you on a high lift, the hydraulics could just fail, and that was the problem with it. And so that's what started it. But anyway, the company tried firing me on 3 different occasions. The first one, they tried telling me I was stealing stuff. Nope. Got rectified. The second time, I don't remember the second time. And the third time, and then many after, I got injured on the job. I had a naval hernia, supposedly recoverable, 100% recoverable naval hernia. Well, after my 4th surgery, that's not the fact. It's not 100% recoverable. So each hernia is like, you recovered, you got hurt again. You recovered, you got... That is how stupid your doctors are and the system. I realized this early on. Well, my company trashed me. They put me in a lunchroom, but the union was strong, and I got to keep my job sitting in a freaking lunchroom for 3 years. Now, if I was in Indiana, I would have got shit canned and got lucky to get anything. That's the labor board in Indiana. In Illinois, they paid dearly for their stupidness. They thought I would just go away, and I didn't. Never go away. Make them pay, because They don't really, at the end of the day, they don't give a shit about you. You're just a slave. You're just a machine. You're just their flock. Don't get me started on the flock cameras. Come on. And at the end of the day, they don't care about you or your family or anybody, and that's sick as far as any kind of employer. But anyway, to get back to the investigation that I'm doing, I'm trying to wonder why in the hell don't you get breaks in Indiana, but in Illinois, because they have a stronger union, a lot stronger union there, and a stronger labor board, they don't get away with the shit. You have to fire yourself. In other words, you got to steal, and then you get caught, and they can prove you're doing it. You know what I mean? They have to prove. Basically, you fire yourself by just being stupid. Here in Indiana, well, let's go back. And there, I got a break. I got breaks on every job I ever did. But where I was a union at, this is what brings up this lawyer stuff that I was talking to this stupid AI and to a lawyer. Well, basically, if you're in Indiana, you're pretty screwed. I knew this early on, before I came back to Indiana, and I knew the labor laws were weak. I knew they didn't like unions, and they brainwashed people to believe this. I mean, yeah, sure, you pay the unions a little bit of money, but wouldn't you rather pay a little bit of money to them and then have all these benefits through this, rather than getting fired just because they don't like you? I mean, you're supposed to have some kind of satisfaction for you and your family to make some money and be able to buy things. But how do you buy something when Indiana can fire you for any reason? Go out and buy a car, and all of a sudden you're fired. Oh, repo. Go buy a house. Same situation. It don't work. It's stupid. There's no safety net for you. Where when I was a union, and I'm not a thief, I don't lie, so I wasn't worried about crap. They were going to have to do that to get rid of me, and it just never happened. But this is huge in Indiana. I mean, if your company's not giving you breaks, what a piece of shit company is that? That's what I want to know. Who in the hell, and whoever's telling you this, they get breaks, but they're telling you can't have them. That's almost like, like the poor can't have what the rich have, so you'll never get that stuff. It's the same shit, just different way. Here's one I want to talk about. Labor laws in Indiana. How in the hell do they still have a $7.25 an hour still there? That's my whole point. Why in the hell do we have the labor board? Get rid of all of them. Fire every damn one of them is what I say. Please do yourself a favor and put that in. Talk to your lawmakers, talk to your congressmen, talk to your senators. If your labor board has a minimum wage of $7.25 at this time, shit can. So I found something here. It says, Indiana, here's your great Hoosier state of Indiana, which I used to think it was great. Now I'm thinking about getting the hell out of here, because it's like being run by a bunch of dumbasses. Breaks are founded. Employers are not required to provide any breaks or meal breaks in Indiana. So if they do, they're allowing you to live a little longer after, and that way you can survive after lunch. Stupid idiots. Here's one. I don't know if you guys are reading any of this stuff. I just started reading it because I'm just like finding out how stupid our labor board are in Indiana. I mean, yeah. Anyway, it says overtime pay. Non-exempt employees are entitled to overtime pay at 1.5 times their regular pay for hours worked over 40 hours in a work week. Non-exempt. Does that mean like illegals and like, you know, Mexicans can sit here and start a business and not pay any taxes for how many years? 5, 7 years, whatever? They have it better than we do. We don't even have any of that shit. We can't even start a business, let alone they freaking give us they give them tax dollars to run their business or buy their business. I mean, I seen in my town where these, and I'm not being racist, but that's what it is. These Mexicans bought a car wash and pretty much rebuilt the whole thing. And it just got done, and it's the same car wash. It's just got all new asphalt. The building's been totally stripped and redone, and everything, all the components have all been redone. How many people out there can start a business and just take the business and rebuild the whole damn thing? You could have went out there and just bought some land and started build a building, and it's the same thing. It had to cost over 100 and some thousand, if not more. So how does that work? And there ain't nobody I know that can do that. That's an American, true American, and paying taxes and all that shit. No. So there you go. Non-exempt, special more privileges. Yes. And here's another special thing about Hoosiers and our government labor board laws. Here we go. At will employment. At will employment. That's what they call it. Both the employees and the employers can terminate a working relationship without cause under Indiana's at will employment doctrine. Isn't that special? So I want to terminate myself. I guess that means I'm firing myself from this job because you won't give me breaks or a lunch. You know, over there you can get an AI robot and plug him up in the ass and he'll work all day for you. And here's one for you. If you feel like you're overworked and you can't get shit done at home and you can't get no family time, they're going to start on your youth employment. Remember they used to tell you, you can't work these many hours, you got to be in school, you know, you got to focus on your schooling. That shit went right out the window. Youth employment. Effective January 1st of 2025, Indiana's youth employment rules will change to align more closely with the federal child labor laws, allowing 16 and 17-year-olds to work the same hours as adults. What's next? Work them 12 hours and tell them they still got to go to school? Indiana is a right-to-work state. You have the right to work, and your employer has the right to shit can you anytime they want. So how do you have the right to work when you're being shit canned because of your color or they just don't like you? Now here are some states' minimum wage I want to throw out there. Alabama is still at $7.25 an hour. Alaska is $11.73 minimum wage per hour. Arizona is $14.35. Arkansas is $11. California is $16. Now, at least $16, they're acknowledging that shit is screwed up. And they're paying people a little bit more money. But still, for $16 an hour, can you even own a car? Make a car payment? Probably not. Maybe a shitty car or a shitty, really shitty house, maybe a tree house without lunches. Yeah. So Colorado is $14.42 an hour. Connecticut $15.69, Delaware $13.25, Florida is $13. That's shocking because everything's really expensive there. Georgia is $7.25. Hawaii is $14 an hour. $14 an hour in Hawaii. I know shit's expensive there, so you could buy a pop, maybe. I don't know. Iowa's a shit $7.25 an hour. Illinois is 14. Yeah. But, I mean, there's a lot of jobs in Illinois. We won't go there. But let's see, where are we at here? Oh, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, $7.25 an hour. Maine is $14.15. Yeah, it just goes on and on. I mean, Massachusetts $15 an hour, but then you got Mississippi $7.25 an hour. Wow. You know, I'm looking through all this, and Nebraska's 12, Nevada's 12, New Hampshire's $7.25. Cheap bastards. They're like Indiana. New Jersey is $15.13. Wow. New Mexico's 12. That's shocking because New Mexico's, New Mexico. New York is 15. That should be more like 20. North Carolina is $7.25. North Dakota is $7.25. Ohio is $10.45. Our neighbor, Ohio, actually gave the people a little bit of money where if you're from Indiana, you're screwed. Sorry. Let's see. Here's Texas. Oh, shit. Texas is only $7.25 an hour. Tennessee's $25 an hour. Vermont is $13.67. Virginia's $12. Washington is $16.28. West Virginia is $8.75. Huh. How does Virginia and West Virginia differ? By a lot. Oh, no it don't. It's 12. Yeah, $12 and then West Virginia is $7.25 $8.75, which whatever. Right? Wisconsin $7.25, boo. Wyoming $7.25, boo. And you can buy land out there for cheaper than everywhere else too. It's wow. District of Columbia. Do we even own that? I don't know. $16.50 an hour. Is that the highest one? I think that's the highest one. Unbelievable. Here's a good one. The U.S. Department of Labor. Fire them. They're useless. I mean, they're the ones making deals like if you work as a waitress for $2.13, and then if you make more than $30 per hour a month in tip, they're gonna, they want to do all this shit to you, right? They want to take all your money. It's ridiculous. Where did I see that at? Hang on, I'm gonna look. Well, anyway, if you make $2.13 an hour, and then you depend on your tips, they better stay the hell off of you and your tips. This is how stupid the labor board is. They're telling you how much you can make. This is not freedom. This is not freedom at all. You can't go out there and make anything other than what the labor board's telling you can make or what the government's telling you can make. You should be able to go out there in a free enterprise and make how hard you work is what you should get. Honest day's wage, honest day's work. Well, I made this video pretty long, but I just want to reach out, and I'm pretty pissed off. The state or the federal does not require any company to give you breaks or lunches. When I asked the computer AI dumbasses, they were wanting to know if we were salary, which probably means, you're special if you're on salary because, you're a manager or what have you. Or asked other questions like that. So certain people probably get breaks with no problem. I don't know, but the labor law should be clear. Everybody deserves a break and a lunch. It's been that way as far as I can remember. It's just the labor laws and these pieces of shits that are running the show are squeezing and squeezing and squeezing, and pretty soon you're not going to have anything. And we're pretty much at that point right now. You have no breaks or no lunches. I mean, most places will give you a lunch, but they don't have to. It's like an introduction, down the road. Are you really going to have a lunch? Some people don't. I know for a fact there are right now people work 6-7 hours and they just give them a lunch break. And this is a family-owned business, which I'm all for family, but not when they slave you. I've owned a coffee shop before, and you know what? You get a break every 2 hours, and you get a lunch after 4 hours. That's just part of being human, right? Otherwise, if you're not doing that, you're doing damage to people, because if they're on medications, if they're diabetic, you have to. That's all there is to it. And as far as the phone, let's not get me started on the phone. That's a whole nother segment. But anyway, subscribe. Check out your labor laws in your states. And I guarantee you they differ. Because I didn't know Indiana stopped the breaks. That's just ridiculous. Construction workers on 90 to 100 degree weather. Are you serious? Carpenters, roofers on those hot days. There's just no freaking way that should be happening. All right, love you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Let's spread the content and get out there and research and find out stuff as far as the government and corporations, what they're doing to you. And they're doing a lot. You just ain't looking. Love you.